Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.
Memwakwa aba edeba PENDREAM TV so make sure so be subscribe to channel no akeke be no so say the news to our so sabet me aka no watini tem NDC communicator a friend no Twum Boafo na aba bonten e de nsem bia betudwa no chirema aban a wote so niam bebre na wo ya asese de afono Ghana for pa eno nti de Ghana for e kanyina say it's too much nti ono aban Akuffo Addo ne ba omi aban omunfra konya ni kwan nka 2024 election ni cry hold they must go, they just have to go omun jaya konya no no mko isan say taxes any niama bebre economy no atete apansam any say this year 2024 budget call parliament or ma for so accepting niama wo no airtime na or the nimbi to dwa o chirem said that be Ghana for into me to the extent say appetition na omo the tax out so and now be a only car bia e be 200 Ghana afi bia whether uchi Land Cruiser uchi mati so obetua bi na no chirem enyenyenye yenko ne yenko video.
You people have brought that thing back. It's back. So let's go back. In fact, you've now extended it to secondary school. At first, it was just basic school. You've extended it to secondary school. Under your free education system today, children are going home for 3 weeks and then are going to school for 3 weeks and then they go home for 3 months. That's what you're doing. While during the 3 months, 4 other different sets of people go to school in the name of red, gold, green, blue, and black. Rainbow school and Kolaniko. So I'm glad you bring it up. But Annie, you said something about hijack. The finance minister of this country has hijacked everything. He's hijacked our loans. He's hijacked ESLA. He's hijacked any form of any safety net. Financial safety security net that was built and put in place before he came to power. ESLA, right, which is not being mentioned, has been collateralized for, I think it was the next 15 years. Yeah. So how are they going to pay the bills? Right? How are they going to pay the bills? This is what is going on. And when OPK says it's just a temporary blip, ECG have shed 500 kilowatts. How is that temporary blip? Do you know the process that WAPCO has to go through in order to shut down a pipeline for non-payment? Do you know how long this has been going on? So what he is trying to do is to make light of a situation. And I understand him. He's going for re-election. His government is in serious trouble. So he has to say something. But the truth of the matter is that we are in a crisis yet again. Of course, you will not see the Yvonne Nelsons of this world take a patash and run around from Legon to Accra because of doing so. You will not see the people who are running around because of doing so. Their light is still going off. They are not talking because they are afraid to talk. But some of us need to remind Ghanaians of what these people said before they came to power. Annie, as we speak, the finance minister, off of his own free will, citing things like IMF post-COVID supported program and economic growth, yada, 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 has increased electricity by 22%. As we speak, this is the letter. We have it here. Prior to this, we all understood that electricity consumption, domestic consumers could not net off electricity consumption because it was regarded as a social necessity. So there was no VAT on it. But in his quest to turn us upside down and engage in a shakedown and shake all the coins from our pockets, they have put 22% on your electricity. This electricity that goes up interminably anyway. So now what is going to happen is that when this thing is implemented, if you bought 10 days of electricity, you have less than 8 days. And that less than 8 days, if they increase it again, you have 78% of that less than 8 days plus the differential in the VAT. Right? It is impoverishing us. It is impoverishing us using iterative mathematics. right? You talked about programming earlier on. They are programming us to become poorer than we are already. And can you imagine how domestic consumer already suffering? People don't have their pensions. Cash.
What's that flow mechanism?
Sorry?
The cash flow.
No. I'm saying people don't have their
flow mechanism. Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm talking about when you go to hospital.
Oh, okay.
It's back. You have to pay.
Cash and carry.
Cash and carry is back. Now they've put 22% on our on our electricity, whilst they have put flow meters on our oil. Right? Bunkering with intellect. It's the same as putting their own oil pipeline into our oil and connecting it to their own ship. This is what is going on in this country. I always ask, and I keep referring, can you imagine if Setepe had done this prior to the 2016 election? What would have happened? What would have happened? 22% increase because of well, we're not here. Davis, and your man Amuka said we are proud people, so we don't want to go to IMF. And do you remember? What happened to our pride? All of a sudden our pride has taken a hit. What happened to what do you call it? Ghana Beyond Aid. But now the aid people are actually telling us to come and impoverish our citizens, and we are complying because our finance minister keeps making losses, and the president says that when he was trying to win elections, he was the one who went to find money, so he should still stay there and impoverish us some more. Do you recall that we were all here when we heard a voice that sounded very much like one of the relatives of the president? When they were sharing electricity corporation like Gem Biscuit, like Gonya Biscuit. Remember that one?
Alleged leak tape.
That's why I said sounded very much like his voice. Up to today, it hasn't been denied. Has it been denied? What happened to the revenues that PDS collected? Do you remember PDS, or have you forgotten? Do you remember that the assets of our electricity corporation was transferred to a company called PDS, for which reason the finance minister wrote to the police that a fraud had been perpetrated in the acquisition of ECG? Remember that letter? What has happened to it today, up to today? What has happened to the revenues that were collected? What has happened to those people who perpetrated the fraud, as per the finance minister? I'm quoting him. But more importantly, do you remember that it occasioned us the loss of a sizable amount of money to reform our electricity sector? Do you remember that? So today, where we are now is a consequence of mismanagement, misapplication, and miss everything that you can think of. You put everything and put a miss in front of it. That is what is going on today. And don't be fooled by this letter. The lifeline threshold has been lowered to almost nothing. So it means nothing.
Oh, it's been lowered to what?
It has been lowered. I'm telling you, whereas them. So they are engaging in basically sleight of hand politics, right? Professor Diago politics, Diago Dinagro. Diago, Nanama, and Small Boy are engaged in sleight of hand magic. That's what they are doing. That's what they are doing. How do you greet us? Have you noticed that every new year they greet us with something painful? How can you write this letter today when we've lost all our money in the bank? We've written this letter. We can't pay our children's school fees. You've written this letter and sent it to us when you told us you are proud. What happened to your pride?
We're a proud nation.
Yeah, we're a proud nation. So we don't go begging. But now he is telling us that because of IMF supported post, code word for if they don't collect that money, the 600 million that they are looking for from the IMF will not come. That's what it is. Read in between the lines. This is what this is all about.
As part of the implementation of government's medium-term revenue strategy and the IMF-supported post-COVID program for economic growth, the implementation of VAT for residential customers of electricity above the maximum consumption level specified for block charges for lifeline units in line with the Section 35 and 37 and the first Schedule 9 of Value-Added Tax VAT Act 2013 Act 870 has been scheduled for implementation effective 1st January 2024.
Yes. You see, if you are the whole idea behind the people who cleverly thought of excluding domestic consumers from VAT electricity is that the commercial operators are able to net off the VAT receipts and collect their refunds. Right? They can put it as part of their production, service, whatever cost, whatever business you're engaged in. We as domestic consumers can't do any such thing. So basically, it is a heist by the finance ministry to get us to simply pay more money that they don't do anything with. They spend it willy-nilly, doing absolutely nothing. Traveling, going from pillar to post, doing absolutely nothing. Half of the time, look at this SML matter. How does a timber operator, and you know what, I was the chief executive of Free Zones for 8 years, so I know advanced timbers. How does somebody who cuts timber now engage in flow metering or oil installations? Downstream, upstream, midstream.
But that's so unfair, Andy. I mean,
why?
You're not allowed this.
Why?
He's an entrepreneur.
Davis.
This is an entrepreneur.
Davis.
He's an entrepreneur.
Davis.
With
Sole sourcing. You see, you are opening a can of worms and I'm going to go there. I'm entering it.
No.
Sole sourcing.
No,
you remember that the president told us that he was one of the architects of the law on procurement, and that sole sourcing in this country was a problem. This revenue assurance thing, it is not new. It is being done at the Ministry of Communications.
No, his concern is about you.
What I'm saying is that there is no track record
of what?
Of that company engaging.
It is not even Timbers that engaged in
perhaps you have not seen the registration document.
No, but the registration document of the company.
You have not seen the registration. I didn't come here. I didn't come here to put my finger in the wind.
I mean, forget about history. Forget about history.
I'm saying the company was registered under the name of somebody who was engaged in timber construction.
So that's my problem.
How can that be?
For instance, Mr. Japan, who owns Metro TV, before he owned Metro TV, did he have any experience in media? He's an entrepreneur.
Hold on.
He's an entrepreneur.
Hold on.
This SML has to do with software.
No.
OPK. It went through sole sourcing. There was no. Annie, let me respond to him.
Yeah.
There was no competitive tendering
because the man came with a solution. A solution to ensure
a solution that the GRA is telling you that they are disregarding.
It's not true. I've seen a statement from GRA.
Clearly you are not reading.
No, we're not reading.
The GRA have written a statement that they don't use that data.
It's not true.
Okay, you say it's not true. What am I mean? Come and say. Right? How are we in this? Listen, didn't the same thing happen? You see, OPT, the history says that didn't the same thing happen when COVID came? The company that supposedly won the bid, whatever bid it was, there was absolutely no bid. To engage in testing at the airport, what happened? It was a private company. Whichever company was registered 3 months before that thing came into operation. At the end of it all, they had made $87 million and the state had made $6 million. And we're happy with it. You see, you shouldn't be happy with it because it is affecting all of us. It is the reason why we are doing this. It's the reason why you are going to pay more. Because one fine day, you may not be in parliament. And you still have to pay for electricity. But some of the things
that
are
going
going
in parliament, you still pay for electricity.
Exactly. So, I'm saying that some of the things that are going on are untoward. There is a pattern of chicanery going on with this government. They keep repeating, rinse, repeat, drive. They keep doing it all over again and it never stops. I'm saying that where they are going and where they have gone is taking all of us down the tube and they should stop it. Right? They should stop it and they should prepare to leave. Like Oliver Cromwell said to the Ram Parliament in 1653, you have sat around for too long for any good you have done. In God's name, go. Just go. Don't try to win the election. Don't try to tell us you are going to operate the election between the hours of 10 and 3, whatever. Just go. This is getting too much. Every new year we get something. Look at what we are getting now. A 22% hike on electricity fees. I mean, on 27th December, I bought 500 cedis worth of electricity. 27th December. I left my house, went to my parents. I wasn't in the house. When I came back on the 5th of January, my lights were off. I'm telling you. Because you know what happens?
You left the air conditioner on.
I didn't leave anything on. I'm too poor to do that. You know what happens? They have made an assumption that you are consuming a certain amount of electricity every week. If you have the meter, look on the meter. They have rated how much electricity, whether you consume it or not,
Averagely.
Whether you consume it or not, it goes off.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot for us to unpack. And they shouldn't add this to our woes. But they've added it. So here we are. The Christian councils, the Pentecostal, the bishops, all the druids, the herbalists, everybody should start asking Tenofuyaka, are we not proud anymore? Why are we paying this?
All right. Let me just capture a few messages. My time is almost up. But this one says that...
Annie,
yes.
Before we go, since 2017, we have introduced a 3% VAT flat rate, 5% increase in VAT. Debt fund levies have been increased by 25%. Corporate tax increased 25%. 2% special import levy, 1% COVID levy, plus 3% VAT to make it 4%. Another COVID levy on the COVID levy, 5% fiscal stabilization levy, 5% financial sector, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And right now, we have put tax on Akpeteshi. Appeal visited, yet the tax at Akpeteshi. Davis, you people should close the loop. Put tax on we, because you've legalized it.
But potentially,
Who has legalized
we have to discourage.
It's been legalized in industrial quantity.
We have to
Try to
discourage.
span it to smoke it in industrial
Well, you don't want to
quantity.
discourage the
Put tax on
consumption
it.
of appetition. You discourage the consumption of appetition.
Yes, but they put tax on appetition. This one is me buana. They have put tax on appetition.
No, I'm just saying that discourage the consumption.
I can understand. I can understand Kojo. I mean, for somebody who is looking for power, this is how to rant. I mean, for somebody who is tasty, I mean, they call the power. He's yearning for power at all costs. He needs to win
And
political power.
in 2016, none of the power.
So for him, he will be putting out all this information.
You people were in traffic.
But you see,
do you remember you were in traffic?
For the
distributing leaflets about
for the Ghanaian,
30% energy
Who is-
sector
who is- who is so-
11% special petroleum
allow
tax,
him.
200%
Let me
boss
hear-
margin, on and on and
let
on
me
and on
hear
and on.
him.
You have put tax
What
on
do you want to say?
application. More the tax at application. Application 30 you better know more the tax at.
Mama, no,
Oh.